Revelation 13, verses 14 and 15. And then Romans 8:24, we are conformed to the image, the icon of the Son. 1 Corinthians 11:7, He is the image and the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 15:49, we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now this is the discernible, outward, optically visible appearance. There is an image in the heavenly. There is an image of God in the heavenly. We are made in His image. Well, what are we? We have hands, eyes, mouths, nose, ears. We can talk. We have voices. We have legs. We can walk. We are made in the image of God. They took that literally. That's not an allegory like Philo wanted to make it. Colossians 3:10, after the image of Him that created him. These four passages state that we are created after God's image, and who will be exalted will be transformed into duplicates of Jesus Christ. These four passages use icon the same way all the others do. And what do they mean? An external, visible, discernible, outward image, not a non-discernible mystic essence or nature. It's noticeable that the use of image never refers to a non-literal physical resemblance when used in reference to three-dimensional objects, people, God the Father, or Jesus Christ, because it is all about three-dimensional images. It's a fascinating use of the Greek, isn't it?
I think there's another very interesting idea that's expressed by Moulton and Milligan.
Once again, in the archaeological discovered papyri, they say that icon is the term used for the description of individuals in official documents. This is the word that is used to describe God in the biblical Greek. In the common, ordinary, daily Greek, it's used to describe individuals. It's always about discernible, three-dimensional objects, exactly as Watson noted. Another extremely important idea on Jesus to understand, again I'm using Colin Brown, the New International Dictionary of New Testament Theology for Volume 1, is the discussion he has on the hypostasis of Jesus. The Greek word hypostasis, the meaning is extremely important to understand. 1 Corinthians, well, he says Paul's use of the term hypostasis in Hebrews is more theologically significant than many suppose. The term is important in Christology. In Hebrews 1:3, he reflects the glory of God and bears the very stamp of His nature. His character tes hypostasios autou. He is upholding the universe by the word of His power. That's the RSV's translation. Now, J. Herring comments, He is not merely like the Father, He is of the same essence, although subordinate to the Father. F. Bruce comments, just as the glory is really in the effulgence, so the substance, the Greek word is hypostasis, of God. The substance of God is really in Christ, who is its impress, its exact reproduction, representation, and embodiment. What God essentially is made manifest in Christ. What God essentially is made manifest in Christ. And what was Christ? He was a combined human in human form with the divine. That's what God is in the Greek New Testament Bible. To see Christ is to see what the Father is like. This is on page 712 of Colin Brown's. To see Christ is to see what the Father is like. Exactly. He holds that hypostasis here is the real essence. Watson next describes the word character. This is used to mean the express image. It's a tool for engraving. It's a stamp. It impresses a coin, a seal, a parchment, or a die, which is the exact image of the coins or the stamps. It's the outward appearance, the form, the exact representation and production. It's related to the charagma, which is the mark of the thing impressed, that which is formed. Now, this extremely important word character is discussed in Hebrews 1, 2, and 3. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by the Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, whom he made the worlds. Who being in the image of his brightness and the express image of his person, that is, the character of his substance, and upholding all things by the word of his power. This is an extremely important word, since character means an exact copy or a duplicate of a stamp or a die or mold. These are two identical pieces. Two identical pieces. One from the mold, the other one from the original pattern the mold was based upon. Both of them, in all points, are identical. And it says Jesus is the express image of his person, the Father's person. That's beautiful. That's the biblical Greek. That's the beauty of studying the biblical Greek. Ah, Crest Creek, what a beautiful spot. What a beautiful little creek. Got a couple other ideas from Ed Watson that I want to share with you on why we know the type and nature and being that God is because of what Jesus Christ taught. It's a fabulous doctrine. All 8 of these Greek words that Watson has talked about, morph, schema, prosopon, eidos, akon, character, hoimoima, opsis, all have to do, their usage meaning an outward, discernible, three-dimensional. Very rarely has many been used in reference to two-dimensional appearance of an object or of beings, with only morph being used to being a being or a make-up of. Any attempt to modify their meaning to refer to a non-discernible omnipresent essence or ousia of God, because the real meaning goes against one's theological education about God's nature, this simply can't be supported by an honest examination of the Scriptures. Every time they talk about God, they refer to his three-dimensional image, his essence, his very nature and makeup, tied together with his shape, exactly as it is with Jesus Christ. Now, John 5:19 is one of the most powerful scriptures in all the New Testament because of what it teaches about God. It's one that Joseph Smith elaborated on extensively, so I want to share a little bit of this with you. Homoios is the Greek word, and it means in like manner or similarly. It means in the same way or likewise. From homoios, which means similar or very alike. John 5:19. Then Jesus answered and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. Now this is interesting. Whatever the Father does, Jesus does. This is Jesus' teaching about his Father. Matthew 22, 25, and 26. Let's explore this for a minute. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise